Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Wednesday, and here we are once again doing another
serial
true
killers.
crime show. More serial killers.
Yeah, Wayne Adam Ford.
This dude right here, this was another one that I had actually never heard of. I think one of you guys, it might have been Tammy, I think recommended him, and I was just like, yeah, there's another one I never heard of.
Yeah, name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, man. So many serial killers.
Yeah.
So many serial killers. It's like I'm always finding ones that are like new to me, and I'm just like, oh, never heard of this motherfucker.
They're regional.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, this happened in the 90s, and he was another one that was a truck driver, which, you know, I've said, like, not all truck drivers are serial killers, but man, there really do seem to be a lot of serial killers that want to be truck drivers.
It's a good job for them.
It is a good job for them, yeah. That's why I think it kind of self-selects. It's not so much that being a truck driver turns you into a serial killer. It's the other way around. This guy is actually one of his most distinguishing features, which not a lot of serial killers do, is this guy actually turned himself in. And I was curious. I was like, I can't really think of that many serial killers that legitimately turn themselves in. I think the most famous one is probably Ed Kemper. But I was kind of curious because I was like, well, how many motherfuckers? Because I was like, I haven't heard of that many. Not many. I think there's only been a couple of documented, maybe like 20-ish documented cases of serial killers that actually like turn themselves in.
But it was hanging over his head, I guess.
Yeah, so
holding himself in suspense. He wanted to see how it was going to turn out.
In some ways, like whether a guy like this is capable of feeling the same kind of remorse as a normal person, I mean, at least he had enough remorse and enough self-awareness to realize, apparently, that he could not stop and wanted to be stopped. So he did actually go, and very famously, and every documentary that you watch about this guy leads with this because the cops were flabbergasted. So the guy walks in to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office in Eureka, California. And he basically says, hey, I'm the serial killer like you guys have been looking for. And to prove it, he reaches in his jacket pocket and pulls out a Ziploc bag that has a severed breast in it.
Okay, yeah, that'll prove it.
He's like,
he didn't want to beat around a bush.
And they're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. What kind of cup are we talking about?
Well,
how big was it?
That's not a very nice thing to ask.
Yeah, right.
That was
he might have been a size king.
I think he was kind of obsessed with boob, but I don't really know because he only killed 4 women that they know of. He did a couple of other rapes as well, but the women survived. And then he turned himself in. 3 of those were at least partially dismembered. One of them was pretty much entirely dismembered, and they still haven't found a lot of her body parts, sadly.
I've noticed with these guys is that some guys don't seem to enjoy it as much as others. The more hate-filled they are, the more they seem to like it. And they'll just continue.
Yeah.
But then some of the other ones, I think maybe they start doing it and it kind of starts turning them off. And they kind of want to get caught. Ed Kemper probably, and maybe this guy, a couple of the other ones. But dudes like Ted Bundy and shit, no, they fucking loved it. And like the toolbox murderers. Those guys,
they got off on that.
They were super vicious. They were recording it and stuff. And there were 2 of them, so they were feeding off of one another.
This guy seemed to get off on it, but he also seemed to, at least according to what he said, that it made him feel kind of gross and bad, like afterward, because it was almost like, and I'm not sure, because like this is self-reporting. It was almost like he had a lot of hatred directed toward his ex-wife for reasons which we'll get into, and he seemed to think that he was punishing other women, like, you know, taking out his hatred for her, like because he didn't want to kill her. So he was just like offloading it onto random ass women, all of whom were sex workers or, you know, runaways, that type of thing. Because he was a truck driver, so he picked up women like while they were hitchhiking or at truck stops or whatever. and then
take it out on innocent
would
people.
so he would take it out
And then
on
he'd feel
innocent
gross
people.
after he'd get what post nut clarity.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
CB said, is this the guy that had the woman's tit in his pocket? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He cut at least, well, the tit in the pocket that he brought to the cops, that was a woman that he had just killed like a few days before. One of his prior victims, he had also cut at least one of her breasts off and tried to cook it.
Was he kind of a cannibal? Must have been.
Well, I don't know if you'd call him that, because like he tried to do it and he didn't really like it. I think he just wanted to try it out just for shits and giggles, and then he was like, nah, not really for me.
Too tough.
So yeah, so I guess that's maybe doesn't count as being a cannibal. He was just cannibal curious, I guess is how we could put it.
Yeah, and he's not a trained cook. Something like that, you have to slow cook.
Well, yeah, I mean, just for any budding serial killer, cannibalistic serial killers out there.
Yeah, at least that other German cannibal, he kind of knew how to cook, I think.
Yeah,
because he was into all that vor.
They failed cooking the dick though.
Yeah, they failed cooking the dick. You'd have to slow cook that too, but I guess they were in a hurry.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
You had to crockpot that bitch.
You could crockpot the dick.
Yeah, it still wouldn't taste good though. That'd just be gristly shit.
Well, yeah.
Sinew.
Like it's just the idea of it, I guess.
They were trying to get a sexual charge out of it.
Yeah. Grampler says, during my cop days, I've been in truck cabs with gallon jugs of urine on the floor, as well as a week's worth of jizz-covered tissues.
Damn.
A nasty lot in general. Yeah, it's not like they're gonna... Because they're on the road for like hours and hours at a time, so it's not like they're gonna stop and clean out the truck every now and then. So it's like, it's pretty fucking gross.
Shit, I would.
What, clean out the truck?
Yeah, but you know,
yeah.
I like clean vehicles.
Well,
man.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I don't want.
I can't stand a dirty vehicle. I clean my vehicle fucking every week, even if we only use it a couple times in a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clean the carpets and everything.
Our car is very clean.
Yeah.
And we don't leave trash in there.
No, I like going in. It feels like a brand new car. It's a 1999. It feels like a brand new car.
Yeah. But not truck driver. I'm sure like some truck drivers are very clean individuals. We're not painting all truck drivers with a broad brush and brush. You're not all serial killers. You don't all have yucky gallon jugs of urine in your trucks. But
living in filth in the military, man, living out in the field, you come to appreciate cleanliness and to be dry, and cool or warm, you know, in any kind of extremity. I don't hate filth.
Yeah, I really don't understand how people could just like sit around in like dirty ass houses or like not shower for days at a time. Where it's like, ugh. How'd you feel? I feel gross if I don't take a shower for like a day.
Shit, I take 3 a day.
Yeah, it's like I take one in the morning and then like at night, like I sponge off, you know, with soap and washcloth and everything, like before I go to bed.
Wake up when I go to bed. I take one and I take a shower in the middle of the day. But they're only a few seconds, you know. You're in Florida.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
doing shit. You're
gonna get sweaty if you go outside. Obviously,
you go outside, it's fucking hot.
You're gonna get swamp ass, so you're gonna have to like fucking Yeah, Tammy said truck drivers have deadlines. They don't have time to stop for much. Exactly. Well, they have time to stop and pick up sex workers and murder them, and
they have time to fucking jerk it in the cab.
Evidently.
To porn, you got time to clean up.
There you go. See, that's your PSA for today.
Yeah.
Maybe they jerk it while they're driving.
Yeah, you'd still have time to clean up.
Yeah.
You'd have a system.
Killing 2 birds with one stone. Just one to drive one-handed.
System somehow. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what a terrible mental picture that was.
You have the screen going. You probably have some electric device going. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, get your fucking pocket pussy going.
Got the cruise control on. Nowadays, if you were a good-looking trucker, dude, you could live stream that shit off StreamMake and make money off of it while you were doing it.
I'm sure there's at least one person.
Yeah, it'd be the gay channels though.
That's
only other dudes are going to pay to see that.
Yeah, but that could be like I'm sure there's a whole niche for that.
Yeah,
like burly truckers.
Yeah,
jerking it in their cabs.
Yeah,
like and then waving at people that go by while they're jerking it.
Yeah, but. Shit, those dudes wouldn't care if you were looking at fucking straight porn though. Just as long as you were jerking it for them. Yeah, what's up, Bob? Yeah, no, I'm going, bro. Your regular customers.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That's okay. So yeah, this guy, I feel like he has a lot of the serial killer kind of tells, I guess, including head injuries. Um, he had one really bad head injury when he was older, like in his 20s, I think he was. And I think, reportedly, at least according to some sources I read, that he had another bad one when he was little too, like he was a little kid. And after the second one is when his behavior started changing. He was kind of a troublemaker before that, so he already had proclivities in that direction, but nothing, super egregious. But after this really bad head injury, people said they noticed a marked difference in
More
his
hostile.
personality, and he got like a lot more violent. But even
Yeah.
so, it took a while for him to like progress to murder, like after
Yeah.
that happened. But he was kind of like abusive to his wife and stuff like that. He was also married and he had a kid. Actually, he married twice and had a kid. And actually, the kid was one of the reasons that he gave for like why he turned himself in, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, like I said, one of the very few to turn himself in. Other than Ed Kemper, I couldn't think of anybody other than Ed Kemper. And then they were like, no, I looked it up, and then there was one of the kind of Angels of Mercy type nurse serial killers. Her name was Elizabeth Wetlaufer, and she was Canadian, and she actually turned herself in 2016 and said, hey, I've been killing all these people by giving them insulin, like nursing home patients. And then, and I'm not sure this, and I guess this kind of
I wonder
counts.
why she turned herself in.
I don't know.
She
Maybe
could have got away with it.
probably, but yeah, it was a nursing home. Maybe she felt bad. Like maybe she
Yeah.
had an attack of conscience or something like that.
Usually they think it's euthanasia. Like, I'm gonna put this one all out of their misery. type of
Yeah.
thing. That's how they usually.
And like I said,
rationalize
if you're targeting those types of victims, then yeah, you probably wouldn't get caught
No,
if you didn't say anything.
because they're here for a short time.
Because they're
anyway.
gonna die anyway, so
Yeah.
it's like no one would get that suspicious.
Yeah.
But
a lot of times they do think that they're easing the suffering of the person.
yeah,
Although
which I can see that. You know what I mean?
But they are getting a God complex thing off of it,
Yes.
though.
Yes.
They're choosing who dies and when and how.
Yeah, it does give them that kind of like,
even though these
powerful
people
feeling.
maybe only had months left, but still, that's not on
Right.
you.
Exactly.
If a person's fucking suffering bad, then yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me at all if
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
But a lot of people, they're not in immediate pain, so
Yeah, it's a little morally questionable.
Yeah.
A little bit.
they're just like, well, they're not feeling good. They're feeling sad today, so I'm gonna take them out.
Yeah. It's like
That's a God complex.
It is, yeah. And also, like I said, I'm not sure if this entirely counts, but there was also David Brooks and Elmer Wayne Henley who turned themselves in, or actually I think David Brooks turned himself in, and then and they were accomplices to Dean Corll. So they weren't like the big ticket serial killer, but they were helping him. But I don't know if that necessarily counts, because I don't know, like, because we did a show about Dean Corll like a long time ago, and I kind of feel like I don't think they got suckered into it, but I think they kind of like got to a point where like, holy shit, this is like a lot worse than we thought. Like they got in way over their head, I guess. And they were the ones that turned themselves in, and then one of them killed Dean Corll as well. So they turned themselves in for that. But I don't know if that really counts as like...
yeah, Dean Corll, that motherfucker was a nasty motherfucker.
Yeah.
He needed to die in hell, that guy.
But I don't know if that really...
tying the boys to the boards.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did a show about him a long
nasty
time ago.
fucker.
But so
one
like,
of the worst serial killers.
Yeah.
Really one of the worst ones. And
the Candyman, they called him.
Yeah, and he targeted boys.
Yeah.
Would make them try to torture them so bad, he'd tell them that he had two brothers, he tried to torture them so bad, he told them, if you beat the other one to death, I'll let the other one go. And they were trying to beat each other to death fucking over a period of 48 hours or something like that. And then eventually he killed them both, but had them tied to a board and shit, was doing bad shit to them. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But like I said, I don't know if that really counts, because Dean Corll didn't turn himself in.
No,
his accomplices, one of his accomplices killed him, and then they turned themselves in.
Yeah.
For that, and also told him what Dean Corll was up to. So I'm not sure that counts.
Yeah, and what the accomplice killed him just to free a girl and another captive at the time, and he'd kind of got roped into it, and he was scared. He would have been killed himself. He almost got killed a couple times himself by Dean. How they did him, I'm not 100% agreeing with it. I think he was a minor when he got him involved in it.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
And I don't think he killed anybody. He was just like a Renfield. He was bringing him victims.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, he had a couple of
Yeah,
kids like that.
but he was kind of a minor, and fucking dude had him under fucking pretty deep control. He's still in prison.
Yeah, is Dean
And
Coral still, or not? Dean Coral is obviously not still alive, but is David Brooks still alive? And Elmer Wayne Henley?
I don't know.
I remember seeing something about a documentary about Dean Coral not too long ago, and I think they interviewed one of those two guys, like, and he's older now, obviously,
Yeah.
but from prison. But that was like years ago.
I mean, he was a young kid who fell in the hands of a fucking evil man. I think he should have done some time and to get some counseling, and then I probably let him go. He's been in there too long. That really wasn't on him. He was a kid. He was going to be a victim himself.
Yeah,
He rolled over to get freedom. If you don't kill me, I'll get somebody else. That type of deal. He did some shit like that.
Yeah.
The shit, he was getting ready to kill him in a fucking super bad way. If memory serves, that's how he recruited him, I think.
CB says the worst serial killer in British history, Peter Sutcliffe, was a truck driver. Yeah, that's right. We did a show about Peter Sutcliffe quite a long time ago, the Yorkshire Ripper. If you don't know, there's a lot of movies and stuff like that about him. I got real, like, when I was living there, like in the 90s, like I got real fascinated by all the British crime and British serial killers. So I read up a lot about them back then. Myra Hindley and Ian Brady and all of that.
Yeah, those two are no dirty fuckers.
Yeah, well, you know,
nasty.
So this guy, Wayne Adam Ford, is still alive. He is on death row in California.
That means he'll never be executed.
Which, there's a moratorium on executions at the moment, but they're not letting him out, obviously. And he was, like I said, convicted of 4 murders, and his first victim was actually unidentified until 2023. Like, they finally identified her just like 3 years ago, because this is horrible, but many parts of her body have never been found because he cut her into pieces. And left her all around. So, All right. So let's talk about this motherfucker in this long line of motherfuckers that we like to talk about. Oh, Granther says Gary Ridgway, aka the Green River Killer, was also a trucker. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of that. And if you see any documentaries about the Texas killing fields, which we did a show about a long time ago, they think that's at least 4 or 5 different serial killers, many of whom are probably truckers, because just the way the routes are and the way the bodies are found, because they know it's more than one killer, because there's different DNA, like, because they've caught a couple of them, and they were also truck drivers. It's just a really good place to dump bodies if you're a truck driver. So, like I said, it's just that dudes that have those kind of propensities will go into that line of work because, they're by themselves in a truck all the time. They're all over the country. They can just pick somebody up, kill her, dump her someplace, and be miles and miles away before anybody knows what's going on. And a lot of their victims are transient. A lot of times they don't give people their real names. They don't live anywhere in particular. So, it's obviously they're not going to get tied to that one guy. So this motherfucker here, Wayne Adam Ford, he was born in 1961. He was actually born in Petaluma, California. And his dad was a U.S. Army Staff Sergeant who retired in about 1969. He'd been in there for about 13 years. And his mom was a German immigrant. Now, because his dad was in the military, obviously they moved around a lot. They moved a lot. They lived a lot of places in California, but they lived in Okinawa, like Japan, for a little while too. Now, Wayne had an older brother named Rod Ford. His name was Calvin, but he was known as Rod. He was almost 2 years older, and the two of them were actually like really close growing up, and the brother will factor into the story like a little bit later on, like when Wayne eventually turns himself in. Now, I don't think there was any particular abuse or anything that stood out. They don't really know that much about him as a kid. I did read that he wasn't real close to his parents, or he wasn't real close to his dad, but like I said, I don't think he got beat or anything like that, or any more than anyone else in that era. But I did read that when he was about 2 years old, he fell off a step, I believe at his house, and had a head injury, like he kind of cracked his head open. which we've talked about this a lot. Like a lot of times, serial killers, not all of them, but a lot of them do have head injuries in their childhood. And this was only the first. He actually had a much more significant one, like later on, which was probably like the big catalyst for eventually what happened. So his parents ended up divorcing when he was about 10, and he kind of went back and forth between his mom and dad's houses. His dad remarried, and he seemed kind of upset about that. And he would like stay with his uncle or family friends or something like that. And as I mentioned, he seemed to get in like just minor trouble with the law, just, little teenage shit, stuff like that. Not great, but he wasn't like a murderer or anything, and he didn't seem particularly violent. But he was a troublemaker. Like he was kind of known for that. He did go to Eureka High School in 1977, but he never finished, so he didn't graduate. He was a high school dropout. So when he was 17 years old, this was in 1979, he joined the Marines. And he was in the Marines for 6 years. He was stationed different places, but mostly the El Toro base in Orange County, California. And according to people that knew him back then, they said he was actually like a really good singer. Like he would get up and sing like Elvis and stuff like that, and he had a really good voice. I believe he even drove a school bus for disabled children at some point. But this happened in 1980, which, like I said, is probably like a big thing that caused the problems later on. So him and his first wife, whose name was Kelly, they had met like on a blind date or something like that, and got married like pretty quickly. So they were driving home from dinner one night, and him and Kelly passed a 2-car accident on the side of the road and stopped to help. Now Kelly left Wayne there, and then she drove like to the next exit to like call 911, like for the police like to come and help. When she drove back to the scene, Wayne, her husband, was gone. Now, she thought that he had walked back to the air station. That's where he was stationed at the time. So she was like, okay, well, I guess I'll find him later. And she went back to her dorm room because she was a college student at that time at UC Irvine. And then the next morning, she gets a phone call from the hospital saying that Wayne had been hit by a car, which I believe was driven by a drunk driver, and was asking for her. So evidently he had stopped to help these people in a wreck, and another driver had come by and like run him over essentially. And he had a severe head injury. He was kind of there was differing accounts, because I think Kelly at the time said he was in a coma for 9 days, but he wasn't in a coma. But then later on she said he was in a coma. So I don't know, but maybe he was in and out of a coma. Who knows? But he was in the ICU like for a while. You know what I mean? So it was a pretty bad head injury.
Sounds like a motorcycle.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like what happened to you, because if you don't know, like Tom was in a motorcycle accident back in the 90s. It was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And
94.
It was 1994, and was in a coma
the end of my official military career
for a while.
Yeah.
Well, it was a few days, right? Like, or a week or something.
I was in and out of a coma for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember it though.
Well, yeah, because you were in a coma.
Yeah, and it took me fucking probably 2 years to recover.
Yeah, I mean,
I was okay within about 3 or 4 months later. But man, you go sideways. You had a fucking real short fuse, and it really does kind of lower your inhibitions, especially if you were drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. With me, it was just kind of felt like I was constantly on like a 12-pack buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that. And then you get all emotional out of nowhere. Yeah, you take something the wrong way.
Yeah.
But it got better probably like 6 months. But it took probably 18 months, 2 years for it to totally clear up, I would think. Yeah. Hard to say, though. Just felt normal to me.
Well, yeah. It's just you wouldn't really know unless other people said something about it. Because I kind of feel like even when I first met you, in 2009 or 2010 or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and that had been a long time since you
Yeah.
had the head injury. But I think that even like from between then and now, like there's been kind of a difference. You like
Well, I
seem
also aged.
that too. Like
Yeah.
so I don't even know if that was entirely it, but you do
Yeah.
seem to have like chilled out some.
Well, yeah, a guy in his 50s is not the same. When you met me, I was in my late 30s.
That's true. Or
Yeah.
yeah, late 30s or early 40s.
No,
I
it
guess
was,
you were.
it was 38, 39.
No, I was 38 when I met you. So
Okay.
so you were like
I was
probably
when I
40
got
or
here, I was
41.
38.
Yeah,
And
because I didn't meet you for like a couple years.
Couple
until
years. So
after
I might
you
have been
got
about
here.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because
We
you're
were still rolling in the club, though. I was like a young man at 40.
Yeah.
Nobody knew I was that age. I didn't look it.
Yeah.
I looked like I was about 35, 30.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, head injuries are no joke, as we know.
Yeah, but they don't make you fucking become a serial killer.
No, but
Most
like
kids that get them fucking don't become that.
no, like I said, it's one of the factors that, and usually it happens in childhood because he also had a head injury when he was 2, and I think it doesn't make you into a serial killer because lots of people have head injuries, obviously, and don't turn out to be serial killers, just like everything else. I think it has to be like a, kind of a confluence of
It's a bunch of
factors.
stuff.
Like you already have to be, because he was already kind of a troublemaker before he got hit by the car. And then they said after that happened, like they noticed a big difference, like in his personality.
Was lowered inhibition, similar to alcohol, and you'd be like emotionally erratic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could take something the wrong way, and then you'd be like, "Oh, what do you mean?" You'd react to it more than you would probably beforehand. But like I said, it seemed like that was pretty much. I felt pretty much normal after about 18 months.
Yeah, but I mean that's a long time. Like
yeah, yeah,
takes a lot to fucking
But I could function.
Yeah.
I got a little job.
Yeah.
Some of the upper fucking executive skills seemed a little bit different, like making a plan and then following through it.
Yeah.
You'll like plan to do something, but then maybe you'll make partial steps to do it, and then you'll forget about it.
Then you'll like
go
space
on to
out and
else.
like not.
And those who do
That's kind of like ADHD.
No.
No, I mean it's kind of like
but
that.
Longer term.
Yeah.
Like you'll actually still, and then another thing is that you end up being kind of like unsure of yourself. You're like, would I have normally done this, or is this the effects of a head injury? Like, yeah, I wanted to do this, but then when I started doing it, I changed my mind. Would I have normally changed my mind, or I lost interest in this? Would I have lost my interest before the accident? You don't know, so you're constantly checking yourself. Eventually, you get to the point where you're like, you don't care.
Yeah.
It's a lot more healthy not to worry about it. Just go, well, that's how I feel.
So everyone else doesn't deal with it.
Well, no. It's like I'm trying to build a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I might build a motorcycle and then forget about it.
Right.
And then fucking a year later, I says, you know what? I'm gonna build that motorcycle. Yeah. And then buy a few more stuff for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no timeline. You just do stuff when you feel like doing it.
Yeah.
If it's nothing that needs to be, it's like not like you're doing brain surgery or anything like that. You know
right. But I noticed with me, it depended on the motorcycle. Like the CT70, I was like obsessed with that. I got that built quick.
Yeah.
The RD350, I was on and off that, and I changed my plans on what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
But that's a more expensive project.
True. So you have to
and I have most of it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's over there. It's actually like it's in the living room, but it looks like a decoration. It's beautiful. That bitch is gonna be worth about $8,000 when I'm done with it, probably.
Yeah, you did get a lot of work done on it.
Yeah.
In the last few months.
Yeah. It sat for years though.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of sat in the garage for a long time.
And I changed my mind. I changed everything. I threw the front end away, threw the gas tanks. I said, no, I'm gonna make it a fucking race bike. Handmade fucking aluminum tank and tail. It looks beautiful. Look almost like a TZ.
Gramther says there's strong evidence that NFL players with head injuries are more likely to commit violent acts than the general population. Yeah, that's what happened to that Chris Benoit dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a show about that, didn't we?
Yeah. I can explain all that.
Tammy says, my husband had a bad accident years ago before we met. He was in a coma for months,
Oh,
had
that's
to
a long one.
relearn how to do everything,
Yeah.
and lost his sense of smell, which he never got back.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
The only thing I lost was the ability to read smoothly. Like what I would do is I could start reading a line in a paragraph, and then my eyes would jump down to the next fucking line underneath it before I was done reading that line. And I'd have to keep backing up and doing it over and over again. I remember doing that after the accident.
Yeah.
That cleared up after about 6 months. I could read, it's just that my eyes wouldn't track.
Yeah, they kept like jumping.
They kept like jumping.
Yeah.
It's just some kind of weird glitch.
Yeah.
I get frustrated and I have to start it over again. And then sometimes I'd forget where I was in the paragraph and I'd start the whole paragraph over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be frustrate the hell out of you because your body and your mind isn't responding to your will.
Yeah, the way
you're trying to get something done, and it's
and it's thwarting you.
It's thwarting you. Yeah,
I know. I hate that.
It's like you're slipping on a banana peel constantly.
Yeah,
but
well,
like
but I feel like that all the time because I'm
Yeah.
kind of clumsy. So it's always like, so I want to do this, and then like I'm fucking it up and dropping shit and everything like that. And it's
it's like that.
It's or running into the wall or something, and it's
Yeah.
like really really frustrating. But it's like,
Yeah, I'd walk and I'd slowly drift left,
yeah,
and I'd be like, oh, that was
I know
gone
that
after
I
a
know
couple
that
months.
feeling.
That was gone after a couple months.
And I don't even have a
Just
head injury
drift
as an
left.
excuse. I'm just like that.
Well, it's when I see those fucking possum that have been hit by cars walking in a circle.
In
I
a
go,
circle.
I know what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
He thinks he's walking straight, but he keeps
Yeah,
drifting.
but you can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, what, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's like terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tammy said his mom told me he was just about an infant when he first came out of the coma.
Yeah.
He would just lay in a fetal position and cry. That's, oh my God, that's like so scary.
Yeah.
Having to like relearn everything. I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know if I would have the fucking wherewithal like to fucking do that. I would probably just get fucking frustrated and be like, fuck all this. You know?
Yeah, but it's not like relearning like a baby from scratch. It's a
I know,
it's a jigsaw. You have certain things and other things that you
don't.
kind of
and
hazy.
it's like, yeah.
You know, where you got to re-go through that again.
It's just I just really admire people that go through that kind of shit. It's like even my mom, she was in a bad car accident. Like she didn't have a head injury, but like her arm and her leg were crushed.
Yeah.
And so she had to go through the whole thing. Like she had to learn to walk again and so on. And she still can't walk that much. You know, she can walk, but not great. She can't walk for a long time. So like when we went to Disney with her, she had to ride on the scooter, you know, because she can't walk for or stand for a long time. Because she has like metal plates in there. So, but yeah, having to like relearn all that kind of shit is, it sounds exhausting. So I really do admire people that fucking come back from that kind of shit. So
it's common.
It is, yeah, it does. It happens a lot. So yeah, and
not even injury, certain illnesses can do it.
Yeah, that can do it too.
Yeah.
So this guy I feel bad. I mean, I don't feel bad for him because of the shit he did later, but it's like I feel bad that he got hit by a car. I mean, that sucks. And was in a coma, but everybody that knew him said that he had drastic personality changes afterward. As we said, he started like violent impulses, mood swings, more explosive temperament. He just acted totally different. Like I said, he was kind of a troublemaker before, but it was just everything was like super amplified. Like
kind of
afterward.
making sense why he turned himself in.
Yeah.
I think the head injuries might have been a contributing factor. And
a
lot of serial killers, it is a contributing factor because it's lessening their inhibitions and increasing frustrations. That's part of it.
Yeah, and I definitely think that was the case here. I think with some serial killers that aren't remorseful, maybe, and that had head injuries also, maybe they had head injuries younger, so by the time they grew to adulthood, they were just used to, this is the way I am. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy, he had a head injury when he was 2, but I feel like it didn't really get really exacerbated until, you know, the one that he had like
when
in
you're
1980.
young, you're a lot more elastic.
Right. So
you have more time to recover.
Right. So I think maybe that's what
Less
that is.
to lose.
And then,
yeah.
But like I said, even given that it was many years after Wayne's head injury that he started murdering people. You know what I mean? So it wasn't immediate, but it like built up to that.
Repeated head injuries are worse. They're kind of cumulative too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why, like we said, we talked about, somebody mentioned CTE, Jen Ellen mentioned CTE. with which a lot of football players have, because you're just getting repeatedly like hit in the head.
Yeah,
like
they
your
don't
brain
know.
like smacking against your skull and shit like that. That's not good.
Yeah, and they don't know because they're on steroids. And you know, hate to break your fantasy, but all those dudes do fucking gear. And steroids are anti-inflammatory. So you can take a serious concussion and not really know, because the brain doesn't swell up. So the concussion doesn't ever really happen. So it does less damage, but there's still damage.
Yeah. It's just not as immediately apparent.
Not immediately impairing. And you think you're okay, so you got to do it again. Well, you've just taken another head injury.
Yeah.
Don't
be a pussy. You can get out there and do it again. You're fine.
That's masked because the swelling didn't increase the damage, but so you didn't know. You know, had the swelling happened, you would have known that was a serious head injury, like a concussion, and you would have felt it, and you would have had fucking more damage from it.
And you would have got it taken care of instead of just jumping back in there.
But because you're on gear, it's kind of protecting you from the head injury.
But not in the long term.
Not in the long run.
No.
You're taking multiple small ones over and over and over again.
Yeah, and CB points out pro wrestlers and pro footballers are more likely to get dementia later in life. Yeah, and that is not surprising in the least. Because like I said, you can only biff your brain around like so much.
Yeah. And
before it starts having terrible consequences.
Steroids are only going to protect you for so long. And it's kind of increasing the problem because you're ignoring the damage.
Yeah.
It's helping you ignore the damage.
Yeah. Which, that's not great.
No. It'll save you from a head injury, but you're supposed to stop.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Just quit running your head into stuff.
Yeah, right.
We shouldn't have to tell people this.
Chris Benoit, he made a whole fucking living off getting hit in the head with fucking metal folding chairs. He loved his job. So eventually he killed his wife.
Yeah.
And his kid too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he
And then himself.
Yeah.
Head injuries, man.
Like I said,
probably on gear.
They're no fucking joke. Too. Yeah, and I'm sure that didn't help.
Probably on trend.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, probably on trend also.
So again, that likely did not help either.
Yeah.
But it was probably mostly the head injury. But
head injury and trend.
Yeah. That'd be a scary combination.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's like...
She seen me on trend after fucking 4 months.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
You literally become a werewolf.
Yeah, I would hate to like be around you if you were like a football player or something like that got biffed in the head all the time.
Yeah, you godlike feelings of fucking, oh no.
I'd have probably got murdered.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you're
having a great time. Everybody's fucking miserable around
Well, like I said, it's kind of that's what's scary about it is that you can't penetrate their reality because they live in some weird bubble where they're amazing and you're just whining or you're just
stop being weak.
Yeah, they're doing everything correctly and you're just crying.
Crazy. Yeah.
So you can't tell them, it's like, look, you're acting like a lunatic. Shut up. No, I'm not.
No, this is normal.
Yeah.
No, you're a little.
It's like, no, you're not being normal.
Because it's not a drug, it's a hormone.
Yeah.
And in hormones, you can't.
It just feels regular.
It feels normal, yeah. That's why postpartum depression and women fucking doing crazy shit.
Yeah, that's why that's the thing too, because it's like,
totally understand it.
Yep.
I totally understand it, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know any better.
And even like
hormones.
Even like birth control pills will do that, like on the low key, you know
it's
what I mean?
Hormones.
Yeah, because it's hormones.
Or it's disrupting hormones.
Yeah, and it feels normal. It feels like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a drug that you're taking. But you know. So
they're mood altering.
Yeah. Big time.
Mind altering. And I've done LSD. And fucking trend was far more mind altering.
Like I said, I mean LSD.
Because LSD, you know.
Yeah, it's mind altering.
You know you're tripping balls.
But you're cognizant.
Yeah.
And
you're having fun with it.
You don't really think, like, you know, the walls are really breathing or anything. You don't think that. You're just like, ooh, neat. You know what I mean? The drug's making me see that. It's not you're not like completely out of it. Like you're pretty aware of like what's going on.
Yeah, so say, hey man, you think you should drive? You think you should ride the sport bike? No, I'm fucking tripping balls.
Yeah,
man.
It's like probably not. I know some people do drive on it. I can't imagine, but I wouldn't have been able to.
Trend,
I couldn't even type on my laptop. I was trying to talk to my friend like on the laptop because she was like, "Well, tell me what it's like while you're on it." And so I was trying to message her, and the laptop is going like that, and I'm just like, I can't type.
Yeah.
I said I'll just call you.
But as an ex-airborne infantryman if you were ever wanted to take some kind of drug where you were going to go into an apocalyptic battle to fucking fight to the death, and at the end of the world, Tren. Yeah. Super soldier serum. Fucking right. You'd be a killing machine, and you wouldn't care if you got killed. You'd be a kamikaze. You'd be real good at it.
Yeah.
But you don't want that just walking around. And those MMA fighters, man, some of those guys, the way they talk, Tren. Just look at the way they fight. I'm like, man, that's the way I was fighting that one dude I was on Tren. It's just, there's no thinking. It's just pure animal reflex and speed. Everybody seems to be moving in slow motion. And the fight happens, you don't even fucking think about it. You're just instantly in the fight. And you're running 125%. The other dude hasn't even fucking warmed up. There's no monkey dance. There's no warning. It's just instant. Bam, I'm on you. And fucking, yeah. That's how you want to be. Because you have an advantage. There's no warning. There's no warm up to it. Jen's seen it.
But like I said, not really.
It's not what you want in a civilian situation.
No, not really conducive to just normal day-to-day life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I was right to do
you're
what
gonna
I did.
end up,
Dude grabbed her ass. I was fucking on him and fucking just.
Yeah, like I said, nobody would fault you for doing that. But like I said,
yeah,
you also got like unreasonably upset at like people that weren't even doing shit to you.
Yeah, I thought he was thinking about me.
Right.
Type of deal.
So it's like, you can't go around living like that because
you fucking paranoid.
Yeah, you were gonna end up going to prison.
Yeah. Well, here in Florida, what would have happened most likely had I been on that shit? Somebody would shot me in self-defense.
Yeah.
Because we could all carry guns here. There's a constitutional carry. And I would have attacked some dude, and he would have shot me, and he'd have been right.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about it.
Yeah.
After I fucking found out, because I'm like, you were gonna get fucking shot. Because I'm sure you did shit that I don't know about.
No.
Because I only later found out about some stuff that happened.
No.
You know what I mean?
I didn't hurt anybody.
Okay. But I was worried about it because you seemed like you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I think we pulled out of our driveway and there was like a there was like a garage sale or something, like a neighborhood garage sale, and he pulled out and the dude was like literally kind of blocking part of the driveway or something. He's like, I'm gonna tear his head off. I'm like,
I'm gonna fucking fight this dude.
I'm like, let's not. He's moving. It's fine. There's a garage sale. You know, there's a lot of cars in the road. It's all good. No one's head needs to be torn off. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was that kind of shit.
I was real simpy to women though.
Yeah.
Women could just say, "Hey, stop!" Okay, all right, but not dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dudes that I knew, I thought, I'm cool with you because I knew you. If you looked fucking big and frightening, if you looked you were on gear, I just fucking loved you. I thought you were the greatest. If you were weak, I wanted to kill you. This is weird. So you become kind of a bully mentality.
Yeah.
Just get out of me. You're trying to drive the weaker males out of the breeding space. You're very animalistic. It's the weirdest drug, not a drug, but weirdest hormone ever.
It is very weird.
Trend stories, just look it up. Everybody has a trend story who does that shit. And mine was actually mild compared to most dudes. Most dudes are worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. I would never do trend again. And a friend of mine's on it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to I said, and that's what he ordered. He didn't know what he ordered. I said, dude, that's got Tren in it. It was a mixture of shit.
Well, maybe have to stay
and
away
he's like,
from
well, that's the thing is,
and
and he's a big dude. He's an older dude. And I'm like, you got to come off of that in 2 months. So I got him on a schedule so he'll burn it all up in 2 months.
Tell him like, and
he'll order more.
I'm not fucking kidding either. Like,
and I said, if you start getting fucking sexually weird and shit, you call me, man. Fucking I'll talk you out of that shit. Okay, because you fucking will do weird shit. It's just, and you'll just want to fuck everything and everybody. It's just weird. I'm trying to think of what else he would do. I just hope he doesn't get in trouble because he comes to the club. He's big.
That's what I was thinking.
He's
I
big.
was like,
he's a gifted musician. He's a real cool dude.
He is really cool.
He's trying to lose a bunch of weight.
He's big. He's very tall.
6'5".
Yeah, he's very tall, and he's a really
beefy dude. And he's trying to lose all this fat and get fucking jacked. He's so impressed at how I turned out. He's my age.
And he was messaging with Tom the other day, and he sent a picture, and he's like, and Tom's like, "There's Tren in that,
Dude, that's got Tren in
I
it.
told you not to take that."
Yeah. And he's only taken nandrolone and test.
Yeah.
He's new to it, and he's on GLP-1. We're talking about fucking this shit. But anyway,
Well, yeah.
I'm just scared of what's gonna happen to that dude.
Yeah, I just like I don't want him because he comes to the club like a lot, so
Yeah.
it's just like I don't want him to like get in a fight or get in trouble or something like that because you know that's probably what's gonna happen. Granther says Trent is popular among young cops with less than 5 years on the job. Not good. Yeah, that's really not
that's
good.
the last thing you want to be in a shooting or to fucking.
I really do not want cops running around on that shit.
No, because
that's terrifying.
They'll take things out of a lot of dudes that get from the source that I do. I fucking listen to their comments and their ratings, and I go, "That's a cop," or I go, "That's a soldier." Cops, soldiers, MMA guys, pro fighters. I can tell who's getting what just by the reviews. But yeah, people in commenting in there, people commenting on the comments. Boy, there's a lot of cops in here. That kind of shit.
See, that's why I don't want to.
Because you can tell who it is. Helps me on a patrol day. Shit like that. Help me take down a perp. Yeah.
And then you're
real
like,
good for arrests.
What was that perp doing? Maybe nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
You're fighting dudes, man. Trying to put cuffs on them.
Okay. I don't know. It's just like I said, it's fucking scary. So yeah, let's kind of get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
So like I said, after this head injury, you know, his personality changed pretty drastically, and he was still in the military. He was in the Marines at this time. And from 1983 onward, so this was about 3 years after the accident, even like his superiors in the military noticed escalating psychological problems. He was in and out of the hospital multiple times. He actually got some psychiatric care, and he was diagnosed with, and this is a quote as far as I know, adjustment reaction with mixed features and a personality disorder with explosive and immature features. And later on, he was actually diagnosed with BPD, chronic borderline personality disorder, which is that's a bad one. So it was actually so bad that he got demoted. He was a sergeant E5, and then he got demoted to corporal E4 because he was getting, you know, write-ups all the time, and he was like kind of becoming a discipline problem. He was actually prescribed Haldol at times because he was violent behavior, and you know, people noticed that he had like really rapid like mood swings. Like he'd be really happy, but then like the next minute he'd be super violent and then be super sad. You know, like he turned on a dime kind of thing. So he was actually honorably discharged in 1985 because of the behavior disorders. And they were just like, yeah, we don't really want you in here. you just go home now kind of thing. So now, as I mentioned, he had been married once before, you know, because he was with his wife when he was in the car accident the first time in 1980. Her name was Kelly Pletcher. That was her name. And they had met on a blind date in 1980, and they eloped in Las Vegas. Like, they married, like, almost immediately after meeting, which that's never a great idea. And they divorced after not too long. Story was that she got pregnant, and then he pressured her into an abortion, like, a year after they got married. And various other things. I think she said he was just real controlling. So they got divorced. And for a little while, he was working, like driving delivery trucks for Sears and Ward's. You remember Ward's?
Yeah.
Was Ward's and Montgomery Ward's? That was the same thing, right?
No.
Or was that two different things?
Ward's was
because Montgomery Ward's
is a department store.
Is a department store, yeah.
Ward's is a southern fast food chain where it had.
Although this is California, so.
Oh, okay, so it's probably not.
So it's probably not the same thing.
Okay.
I was thinking it's probably like Montgomery Ward.
All right.
Is what I was thinking. But he didn't work there too long, and he quit. And then he drove a tow truck for a while too. But then after that, he became famously a long haul trucker. And then in 1994, he married his second wife, whose name was Elizabeth. And they had a son named Max, who was born in 1995. And their marriage was a little volatile, I'm going to say. And they broke up and got back together like multiple times. But finally, Elizabeth ended up leaving and divorcing him in 1996. Now, Elizabeth got primary custody of their son, and Wayne would later say, and this was kind of one of his big beefs that he always complained about, and one of the reasons he said, like, why he ended up killing people, like indirectly, was that she had restricted his access to Max. Like he said that she wouldn't let him see his son. And apparently, this divorce and him not being able to see his son and stuff, um, was one of the catalysts that led to him like having all of this hatred toward his wife, which he then seems to have projected onto just women in general. According to Elizabeth and other people that knew what was going on at the time, though, um, Elizabeth didn't really restrict access. Like, yes, she divorced him, um, because he was controlling and abusive, she said, but she said, I never said that he couldn't see our son. Like, I didn't restrict access to him. And she's like, and he actually moved far away, like 700 miles away at some point. And she's like, he didn't even show up. Like, he had a birthday party and he didn't show up for the kid. So she thought that was kind of dumb, that he was making such a big deal about it when he didn't even like bother to show up to see him like most of the time anyway. Um, well, so like I said, I think it was mostly just I kind of feel like in situations like this, like guys like this, I don't think they so much care about seeing the kid. They just care that they're being denied something, like someone else is controlling what they can do and telling them what to do. And I think that that was making him mad, was that she was, or he perceived that she was saying, well, you can't do this. And that made him mad. You know what I mean?
It's also fighting the ex through the child.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. So, like
Yeah.
I said, because it seemed like even when he had opportunities to see the kid, he didn't bother. So, and then he's like crying about it, like, oh, that's why I killed these women because I was mad at my ex wife and for not letting me see my son. But they're like, well, even when you had opportunity, you didn't go see him. So, what the fuck's that about? Like I said, I don't think he cared about seeing the son particularly. I just think he was mad because he didn't have control over something, I think is maybe what it was. So, by the mid 1990s, after the divorce, he had moved to this trailer park in Arcata in Humboldt County, and he was working as a long haul trucker. And I saw different reports on this. Some said that he traveled like all over, like the Western United States and up into Canada, whereas some reports said he mostly just drove to California, like just up and down the state, and maybe up into Oregon and stuff. So I'm not sure, but he drove a lot of routes, you know what I mean? And because he was divorced now and he was a truck driver, I mean, obviously he's going to engage with prostitutes. Now, even before the murders had occurred, actually even before he married his second wife, he did have one violent incident, at least one that was reported, involving a sex worker. And this happened in 1986. So, like I said, this was, a few years, or actually the year after he was honorably discharged from the military and before he married his second wife. Um, but yeah, he supposedly like beat up or, roughed up a prostitute. Um, so yeah, so I feel like all of these factors, the divorce, the head injuries, all this other kind of stuff just kind of came together into this stew. And for whatever reason, he decided that he was just going to go whole hog with it and just start killing people. Like I said, I'm not sure how many sex workers he abused before he started killing people. I'm sure, I mean, there's one at least because she reported it, but how many of them didn't report it? Because it's pretty common, like for sex work, because they don't want to get in trouble either, because it's illegal, right? So a lot of them, get beat up or raped or whatever, and don't ever report it, so they don't, the cops don't know about it. So I suspect that that was probably happening quite common,
A
because
lot of that depends on the state, though,
yeah, that's
because
true.
some of those states have agreements that if that crime that's committed while you're hooking, you can get amnesty because they'd rather catch that dude
Well, yeah.
than bust you. So some of them do tell.
Yeah, I know a
Depending
lot
on
of
the
them
time,
do, but
yeah,
I know a lot of them, have like a distrust of cops,
yeah.
or they just don't want the hassle or
They don't have it. Some
something.
of them don't have the discipline too. If
That
there's
too.
drugs involved, they're like, I can't go to the cops. I'm carrying. I got drugs on
That's
me.
what I mean. There's lots of
Yeah,
reasons
they don't like
why
the
they
cops to
wouldn't.
begin with. Yeah.
So I imagine that he probably did abuse like a lot of sex workers before he started killing them. The weird thing about him though is that how a lot of serial killers are very kind of self-aggrandizing and will often even like inflate their victim count. This guy didn't really seem like that. They know that he killed at least 4 women, and even though a lot of serial killers, you suspect they probably killed more than that they didn't get caught for, this guy I'm not really sure because he seemed so ashamed of it. He didn't really brag about it. He seemed kind of fucked up about it. And so I don't think he killed any more than what he said. I do think he probably beat up and raped some sex workers that he didn't talk about prior to the murders. But I have a feeling that that 4 is probably all he did. Because he wasn't adding on to his total or, making it seem like, or like, just exaggerating the details or anything like that. He wasn't making like a myth out of himself like a lot of them do. And like I said, I think that's largely because he was maybe ashamed of it or didn't like it. So, between and really the murders took place over a relatively short period of time. It was really only a year that they took place between October 1997 and like October, November 1998. So, like I said, he killed at least 4 women. Now, what he would typically do is pick up, sex workers or hitchhikers, um, and they were usually in their 20s, and some had mental health issues. They were runaways or drug addicts or something like that, or otherwise vulnerable, as that's why serial killers target them in the first place. He would generally rape them, usually strangle them or stab them. And in 3 cases, he dismembered the bodies, either fully or partially, and would kind of scatter the parts around in remote areas, or just dump the body like on the side of the road or something like that. Now, the first victim, who at the time was unidentified, they actually didn't identify her until 2023. She was actually, this was his first known murders. This happened somewhere around mid-October of 1997. He said he didn't really remember the exact date. It was probably October 14th or 15th or something like that. He said he picked her up in the Humboldt County area. I'm not sure. I imagine she was probably working as a sex worker, but she wasn't from the area. When they later found out who she was, they actually found out that she was from Oregon. She was from Eugene, Oregon, and had some mental health issues and had kind of been couch surfing, like living on other people's, living in other people's houses and stuff, going from house to house. So he picked her up, raped her, and stabbed her. And then after she was dead, he dismembered her. Now, they found, at first, the only thing they found was her torso and her left arm. They found those in Ryan Slough, I guess is what they call it, near Humboldt Bay. And the torso had been stabbed almost 30 times and had been like cut down the middle. Some reports said she was also disemboweled. And because she was unidentified at the time, all they had was, like I said, a torso and an arm. So they at first just called her Torso Girl. Now they did find her legs later on, like after he got arrested. Now some accounts from him after he got arrested, he said that he had put her head on like around the bend. He'd like buried it like near this river bend. But I don't think they ever found it. Like he later, I was watching this documentary and there was a true crime writer on there who had written a book about him, and she had like, visited him in prison and did all these interviews with him. and he told her that he pulled a Ted Bundy with this head, if you know what I mean. Like, he kept it in his freezer for a long time until the nose got frostbite, and apparently he sexually abused the severed head, and then later he disposed of it. He told the cops where it was, but they can never find it. This woman was later identified as Kerry Ann Cummings, who was about 25, 26 years old. Like I said, she was from Eugene, Oregon, but like I said, they didn't identify her until 2023. When they searched his trailer, like after he got arrested later on, they found a coffee can that had human fat in it.
Huh.
And he said that he had cut off one of her breasts, cooked it in the oven, and then drained off the fat into the can for some reason. And he attempted to eat the breast, but he said it was too tough and he gave up.
Okay.
So, technically, a potential cannibal, a wannabe cannibal, but he just couldn't hack it, I guess. They actually
did he swallow it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he just like tried to put it in there and just kind of chewed on it. Or it's like,
Yeah.
It's a freaking horrible thing to fucking think about. It's like your tit. And
What was he
just
thinking?
Like,
I mean,
I asked myself.
That's not a piece that's going to be good. He doesn't have any basic understanding of butchery, cooking, culinary arts, or what would be a good part or not. Hannibal Lecter would know all about what the good parts would be. You know, just because it looks good, that doesn't mean it's going to taste good.
Yeah, I think he was a boob guy.
Yeah, he's a boob guy. He thought that would taste good.
And so I think it was kind of more... I don't even know if he thought it would taste good. I'm just, I don't know.
Fat and a mammary gland. And
I just think he thought, oh, well, I like looking at boobs, so maybe if I eat it...
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. No.
Look at us. It's just like, I love how every time we do a fucking show about a cannibal serial killer, like, we always end up, like, doing cooking tips. Like, that's... We're going to hell so much.
Well... got a damn professional kitchen downstairs. I could run a.
It's like, if you're gonna eat somebody, for heaven's sakes, you know what I mean? It's just it's so fucked up. But I'm sorry. It's just, we have a very, very dark sense of humor. You know what I mean? You guys know that.
Yeah. No, don't eat that.
Don't eat that.
On a human being, really, on the average human being, the only thing that would be good would be the legs, the lower body.
Yeah.
And some people don't have much of a calf, so you're just talking about the glutes and the thighs.
I mean, that's pretty much the only part worth eating.
And the only thing you'll be able to do with that is make a roast. Crock pot. None of that would... I would consider it... I would cook it like it was pork.
Well, yeah.
It'd be similar. In terms of,
Yeah,
the marbling.
Tammy says rump roast. Yeah, that's exactly
right. Yeah, that'd be the only thing you could get. There's not much on the average person's upper body, especially a woman.
It just wouldn't be good.
No. When we would field dress deer, even 100-pound deer, 110-pound deer, which is a fairly big American white-tailed deer, the only thing you could eat was going down the back on either end of the spine. There's like a fillet, like filet mignon, that goes down. That's the best part. And it's not very long, 17 inches long, maybe 2 pieces. And they're a couple inches in diameter. And then the 2 rumps and the upper thigh. The lower legs have no meat. The upper legs, the forelegs have no meat. Even the shoulder part, there's nothing there to really. It's not worth it. And it's tough anyway. So we just took the back legs off.
Can you like just make jerky out of it or something?
Cut the fillets out and took the back legs off, and the rest of it was just thrown away, basically.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing in the internal organs you want. And the heart isn't very big.
Desperate.
The only thing out of the internal organs that I would probably eat would be the heart, and it's not very big.
Yeah.
And really not really worth it. Yeah, because I don't like internal organs like livers and kidneys and shit. Nah, that's garbage.
I know that a lot of other countries eat those, and it's just and I can see why, because it does seem like a waste. Like, it's a lot of meat that you could eat that you could throw away.
In the U.S., that's trash.
In the U.S., like, don't you know,
We don't have that.
every now and then, like, people eat them, but most people don't eat those.
Yeah, some people will cook liver or drive everybody.
Yeah,
out of the
liver
house.
is not
Beef
that
liver.
unusual.
Beef liver.
My grandma used to eat liver and
Yeah.
onions every now and then, but wow, that stinks.
Even in Brazil, they would eat feijoada, which is sometimes tripe and pig ears and pig face. But that was for the polvo, the lower middle class people. It was okay. Too fatty. The rich people ate higher on the hog, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where that phrase comes from.
That's where that came from.
Actually.
The only internal organ that I learned from my time in Brazil that I fucking loved were chicken hearts.
Chicken hearts. Tom loves some chicken hearts.
Fucking love chicken hearts.
They're tiny.
They're tiny, but you get them.
You just put them on a skewer.
You get
like
them
a little stick.
Yeah, man. Fucking, you get them at fucking Churrasco, which is churrascaria. It's a Brazilian barbecue place, and they have fucking waiters dressed up like gauchos and shit with big fucking swords with cuts of meat on them. And one of the cuts that they come by on the sword to pull it off is a whole sword full of little chicken hearts. And I'm like, yeah, give me a bunch of them. And I get like fucking 12 of them. And it's just a chewy piece of meat. It's kind of like a salty, chicken flavored fucking bit of the muscle of a fucking clam. Kind of like that. Or a big fucking oyster, like a fried oyster. But the muscle part of the oyster, not the guts part. I like fried oysters too. But
well, I also like fried oysters.
Yeah, fried oysters. So it's kind of like a fried oyster, but the muscle part. Chewy meat, but it's good. The rest of that shit, beef tongue, pretty good. Kind of like ham. The rest of that shit's garbage.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat any of that.
Nah,
it's just too.
It's too strong. The flavor is just. Now I do like fried liver, beef liver, but it's got to be cooked right.
Yeah.
And it's an acquired taste. But I ain't eating no fucking kidney or tripe.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah.
Yeah, Grampter says, in medieval times, the aristocrats got the venison meat and proles got the umbles, aka the guts and organs. They made pie out the umbles, hence the term humble pie.
Humble pie.
Yeah, I had heard that story.
Yeah.
CB says, if he, Wayne Ford, handed himself in, why was he given the death penalty? I thought you didn't get it if you pled guilty. Well, it depends. What happens a lot of times is that they'll try to do a deal with you to get you to confess. Like, you'll come in or they'll catch you and, you know, they'll say, hey, if you confess this murder or lead us to where the bodies are or something like that, then we'll take the death penalty off the table. But there is no, as far as I know,
that's a deal. That's
a deal. There's no like law that says, oh, you can't get the death penalty if you confess. That's just a deal that's offered to you.
State prosecutor will,
a lot of times if they want to confess. But he had already confessed.
They're trying to speed the trial up.
Yeah, and didn't really seem to care if he got the death penalty or not.
They've had offenders here. They had one guy who, he was in his early 20s, if I remember correctly, captured a little boy. I think he was maybe like 8. Molested him and then hanged him in a fucking closet. All right, after he was done with him, and then he got caught or turned himself. I don't remember, and he wanted the death penalty. He says, "You have to kill me."
Yeah, some
he says you have to kill me.
Killers have said that.
He says after what I did, you have to kill me, and you can't release me. I'll do it again.
We agree.
He says I'll do it again. That's all he thought about was killing little boys.
Yeah, so at least he had that much self-awareness.
Yeah.
But he's like,
I think he turned himself in that one.
I don't know.
And then asked for the death penalty.
I'd have to look that up.
It was in the early 80s, I think.
I don't think Wayne Ford asked for the death penalty. I just don't think he fought it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, what usually will happen is if they want you to confess to something or if they want something from you, like, if you killed somebody and they don't know where the body is or something like that, they're like, hey, if you tell us where the body is, like, we'll take the death penalty off the table. So it's just like a bargaining chip. But as far as I know, there is no state that has a law that automatically says if you confess, you don't get the death penalty. So yeah. So
you know the drink?
Yeah. Okay. So he didn't succeed in eating the breast. I guess, like I said, and this is fucked up, but evidently one of the things that caused him to choose her or, target her was because she had really big boobs. Like I said, he was kind of a boob guy. Um, so that was one of the reasons he picked her up. And they also found her thighs at a campsite where he lived after he had moved out of the trailer, but they never found her head. They never found her other arm, as far as I'm aware. He said he did have the head and he kept it for a while, and he told them where he buried it, but they never found it. And like I said, she was unidentified for a very long time. They eventually found her through genealogy. They found it like through her sister's DNA, and they were able to identify her after 25 years, which is pretty sad. So the second victim was named Tina Renee Gibbs. She was 26 years old. And he came across her on May 16th, 1998, near Las Vegas. And he raped and strangled her. Now, they found her nude body on June 2nd, 1998, in an aqueduct near Buttonwillow in Kern County, California. She had actually not been dismembered for whatever reason. I don't really know if he just didn't want to fuck with it or if he was in a hurry or something, because all the other ones, like, he would at least cut breasts off or like cut them into pieces or something like that, but her, he didn't do that. Like, he did leave her out naked, like in this aqueduct, but he didn't like mangle her or anything for, like I said, whatever reason. The third victim was named Lanette White, and he picked her up in Ontario, California on September 25th, 1998, around there, and raped and strangled her in pretty much the same way that he had done to Tina Gibbs. Now, she was found nude also, um, and I think partially mutilated, but she was like floating in a roadside irrigation canal near Lodi, in San Joaquin County. And he picked her up at a truck stop, and he had apparently killed her. He told him this later. He killed her and then drove around with her body tied up in his truck, like, for a long time. And he had the this one, okay. I'm trying to picture how this could have worked. But they said when they found her body in Lodi, they said it looked as though that she had been thrown from a moving vehicle. So I'm sitting there going, well, how could he by himself throw her out of a big rig, like, by himself? I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. I'm trying to picture how that would happen. Like, did he lean over and like open the passenger door and just like kick her out? Or I'm not really sure. Like, how would she have ended up like in this irrigation canal, which was like, as far as I know, it was like next to the road. But I was like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how she would have come out of a moving vehicle. But who knows? But that's what they said. They said that's what it looked like. So I don't know if she was just so beat up that they couldn't tell or whatever. And then the fourth victim was named Patricia Tamez. Now, she was 29. And this happened in October of 1998 in the Hesperia. It's Hesperia, right? California. And he raped and stabbed her. So the other ones were strangled. This one was stabbed. The first one was stabbed also. And this victim, he also cut off one of her breasts. And in fact, it was this breast that he had with him in the Ziploc bag, like when he went to police, like a few days later. Her body was found October 23rd, 1998, in an aqueduct in San Bernardino County. And he had killed her a couple days before and again drove around with the body in his truck for a couple of days, like he had done to the third victim. And when they found her, her head was black. And they found out that it was because the way her body was laying in the truck, like, it was against the floorboards, which were hot. So her head had decomposed faster than the rest of her.
Yeah.
And it kind of cooked. And I was like, oh,
So
that's
he
horrible.
he had her in the truck, not under any refrigeration or anything, in that heat. Nasty motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he was having sex with it, probably, wasn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Because it was free.
Well, yeah, that's how they would think of it.
Yeah.
Why would you carry it around with you for a few days?
Yeah.
If you didn't want to like
molest it,
keep it for a little while. It's like, ooh, that
nasty.
Was still fresh. Got to keep it.
And he was married, had kids, right?
Well, he was divorced at
divorced
this point.
This time. Okay.
By this time, he was divorced. Like he
so didn't
the
have
divorce
was
for him.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean that not like that stops him because we've talked about a lot of serial killers that had wives and kids and they just kept on. They just kept on keeping on.
They don't carry the body.
Wives and kids didn't know a goddamn thing about it. Yeah, it's. I don't really get. Yeah, I think
Gary Ridgway would keep it out in the woods and go back and visit it.
I'm gonna go visit
in the summer when it was rotting.
Body.
Yeah, nasty fucking.
Some people are just fucking gross.
And they wash off in the fucking water on the river by the riverside.
They're just complete. Yeah, we've talked about that before because I'm just like, and he was married at the time too.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, like, I don't have any personal experience with this clearly, but I would imagine that even if you rinsed your ass off in the fucking river or whatever, by the time you got home, I mean, the death decomposition smell is pretty permeating. I'm going to call it that. So
unless she smelled it and didn't believe it, or he had some secret soap with him.
Secret soap.
Yeah, he brings some secret soap.
He had some of that. What's that? Is it lava?
Lava. Yeah. I haven't seen that shit in a long time.
Do they make that still?
I don't know. I might not have.
That was the soap that you always kept in the garage because it was like fucking sandpaper. It was like gray. That was man soap.
Man soap. It lasted forever, and it would dry all your skin out.
My grandpa was it made your skin like just all fucking
super dry.
Super dry. It was good for getting like people kept it in their garage and shit like that, like for scrubbing oil and grease and shit off of you.
Yeah.
But it would like fucking just tear up your skin.
Yeah.
I remember it smelled okay, or it didn't have much smell.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe Gary Ridgway, maybe necrophiliac serial killers, maybe they're more conscious of this than I'm aware, and they just go around with some fucking lava soap up in there.
Yeah, knowing where they
just like scrubbing their ass crack and like their balls and everything like that with lava soap. Ooh, can you imagine washing your fucking balls?
Look,
fucking
somebody's got access to Grok. Ask Grok if Ridgway.
We're all on a list somewhere for all of these questions. That
if he was using soap.
Well, I'm curious.
After visiting the bodies there on the riverside.
Because look, if you came home and smelled like a dead person, I'd be like, what the fuck have you been doing? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a dead animal on the road. I picked it up. I threw it off. This was bullshit.
Yeah, I picked it up and rubbed it all over myself. Like you do. What the fuck? I wouldn't believe that.
He said he'd have sex with him because it was free. And the cops were like, was she rotten by this? He said, but I go wash off in the water.
They're like, okay, cool, but it's like, let's go back to the thing where you're even having sex with a decomposing dead body in the first place. Why?
I didn't bother Gary.
Okay.
Gary was pretty hardcore.
I guess so.
Once that Willie was hard, he was fucking wooded out. He could do anything. That's a serious Woody right there.
Squishy, I guess so.
Because I couldn't maintain.
I would hope most people wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Like, because Jesus Christ.
He had to have been into that shit.
Even just the smell alone would be off-putting, to put it mildly.
He had some kind of weird, perverse enjoyment.
And I know some people have that, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. That's just kind of so outside the realms of normal.
By the fact that she had turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I do think some people get off on the idea of just like doing gross, filthy shit.
Yeah, I think it might have been something like that.
It's some kind of weird kink. CB said
one of the cops that was interviewing him when they first got a hold of his ass, he said that what astounded him the most after finally getting his hands on Gary is how weak he was, how weak and frightened he was. That you could intimidate him and he would cringe and and wilt in his fucking chair. He said that he didn't expect that out of a guy like this. He wasn't a predator. He was a fucking parasite, is what he was.
A bottom feeder.
Yeah, he's a bottom feeding parasite. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to be a tough guy when the dead don't fight back.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And even that weak little motherfucker was able to overpower and kill pretty tough street broads. I guess he got him in a moment of weakness and wrapped something around their necks and started strangling them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
I think a couple of them got away.
Yeah. I mean, even if you are because generally, the average dude is going to be much, much stronger than the average woman. I mean, there are exceptions, clearly. But the thing about it is that if the dude just like sneaks up on you
Yeah.
and incapacitates you like without you being aware of what's happening, then you're kind of fucked. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a lot you can do in that situation. And so that's what he might have done. We did a show about him a long time ago, but I don't remember like all the fucking details. CB says how Gary Ridgway's wife didn't get an infection after he had sex with her after having sex with a 3-month dead body. I always wondered that too. I was just kind of like, man, she's like, why am I getting so many UTIs? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, ugh.
Could be that he didn't have much sex with her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they've been married for a long time, and he was.
Maybe I thinking about this too much.
Yeah. I'm been married a long time.
How much sex was Gary Ridgway having with his living wife, and why didn't she get any infections?
He was a weedy. He was a weedy little, weaselly, middle-aged man who was a pervert. He may have not had much interest in his wife by that time.
Well, she was too like alive,
too
for
living,
him, man.
too much problem.
She like walks around and talks and stuff,
looking at him too much. She
like,
looked at him
can
too
you
much.
just not breathe?
Yeah, don't look at me. I really always had the kind of a feeling that a necrophiliac's problem was performance anxiety. He didn't want to be judged.
That's definitely a big one.
He wanted to have sex with a woman, but he didn't want the woman there. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
If it's not porn, then
or
she's
a sex
be
doll,
dead.
then she's got to be dead.
They didn't have sex dolls back then.
Not good ones.
It makes me wonder if these modern fucking awesome sex dolls and shit might be preventing some of this.
I've kind of thought that.
Because that's really all fucking, what was his name? Not Ted Bundy, the dude who was eating dudes.
That's not narrowing it down.
No, the gay dude who was eating dudes.
Who, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, okay.
Jeffrey Dahmer really just wanted a male sex dog.
Yeah. So now you know, for a couple $1,000s, you can get a really good realistic one. And it has the added bonus of not smelling like rotting flesh.
Yeah, and it doesn't move, and it doesn't talk, and it doesn't want to fuck in the ass, and it doesn't want to do anything, and it can just lay there and be with you. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. You could talk to it if you wanted to. And you could do whatever you wanted to, and he won't complain.
He could put his freaky contact lenses in like he was the fucking emperor from Star Wars and shit. He had those contacts. Do you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he bought those yellow contacts and wore them to the club. Like he loved the emperor from fucking Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to be fucking Darth Sidious. Yeah.
So he wanted to be like that.
Yeah, but a gay one.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Zapping boys and keeping them in bed so they can't go anywhere.
Well, yeah, didn't we say like he used to like
ass.
He used to like drill holes in their forehead and like pour Windex in there and shit like that because he was trying to make like a zombie,
a living zombie,
like a living sex doll.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you just get a sex doll?
They didn't have good ones back then.
But you know.
But I think there's also a power thing. He wanted a person.
Yeah, that's why I think that in some cases, if you're not too much of a freak, I think the sex doll will probably satisfy you. But I think in some cases, like extreme serial killer cases, I don't think it has to be a person
because it's a power thing.
Yeah, so it's like if it's just a toy that you can't hurt or make suffer in any way, then it's not going to be the same.
Or dominate.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of a lot of their thing. Like that's what they get off on.
Yeah, when the sex robots are ready, they'll have dudes that'll dominate them. They'll have dudes that keep them chained up.
Yeah, you know that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Honestly, it's probably going to be a lot more common than we want to imagine.
It'll just be a robot, though. It won't.
I know, but still, it's like, it'll be really enlightening to see how many dudes that you thought were completely normal will end up have a robot shown to, and they're just like, man, that's just like one tick from doing that to like a real person, and you wanted to do that to a real person this whole time. And I thought you were a normal person this whole time. See, that's going to be really scary. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's obviously better than doing it to a real person, but it's also...
we know people that do it to real people, but it's all fun and games. They're
I don't care what people do with other people as long as everybody's consenting.
Everybody's consenting,
obviously. Yeah. Like, you can do what the hell you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just nothing to do with me, is it?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That'd still be a little weird. I would still look askance at somebody that was like
Had a robot
that had a robot like
hanging by its
and was
ankle.
like abusing it
Hanging
and
by
stuff like
one
that.
ankle.
Because I'm just sitting there going, so you just wanted to do that the whole time, and you couldn't like go like the fetish route and find a person that was consenting that like wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like I think I would look at you a little side eye. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
Consent takes away the salt that they're looking for, the certain spice.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
like a really weird.
That's what that toy box murderer was all
Yeah.
about. He didn't want consent.
Well,
He
yeah,
was doing fetish stuff.
it's no fun then.
Yeah, he didn't want consent.
It's no fun if they're like willing participants.
Yeah.
He wants to force them into it.
Yeah. And then kill him.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of why, obviously it's all on a spectrum, but I think that's like way on the way end of the spectrum. Because like if you're into fetish shit, like you can find willing people to do just about anything. Holy shit, that freaking Germany found that guy that said, "Sure, eat me."
Yeah, he went down there to get cooked and eaten alive.
And he knew what he was signing up for.
Yeah, he was into it. Weird.
There's some weirdos out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can find pretty much anybody. Like,
and the Germans fucking didn't give that guy life. I think they let him back out eventually.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to that dude.
Yeah, I think he eventually got out. That wouldn't have worked here in the U.S.
No, they probably would have still just. They're like,
what?
They're like, well, we don't really care if the dude was
consenting.
consenting. That's still murder.
It's still murder because the way it's worded. There's no. You cannot consent to murder.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anything. Now I'm kind of like curious if there's any
suicide is a legal gray.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So you can't consent to that. They consider you insane. You don't have the ability to consent.
Yeah.
So no, you'd be on death row.
Yeah.
And they'd put him on death row if he was alive for murdering himself.
I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they would do that, but
they'd want to.
They'd probably put him in a mental hospital.
They put him in a mental home easily. Yeah.
That's probably what they would do.
Yeah. Some prosecutors would want to charge him for murder, attempted murder.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd have a leg to stand on in that case.
He tried to get himself murdered. Yeah, attempted murder.
What a weird fucking case that was.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. And they're just like, okay. Fucking Germans, man. No, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not picking on the Germans. I mean, obviously we have our own weirdos over here. Like we've had weird shit happen over here too. So yeah. So later on they actually found blood evidence on the floor of Ford's truck, which, matched a couple of the victims. And they also found swabs that tested positive for sperm content that were taken from 2 of the victims at least. And so, like I said, the boob that he brought into, you know what I mean? It's okay. So I have a dark sense of humor, right? But I was like looking at other documentaries about this, and most of them had nice, tasteful titles. One of them was called "The Boob Collector," which I was kind of like, okay, that's a little tacky. But and then what was the other one called? "The Man with the Breast in a Bag" or something like that. And I'm like, I understand that, salacious titles get engagement, but I was just kind of like, that poor woman, man. It's just like, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, I'm talking about it, and it's like we're kind of making dark jokes about it too, but you kind of got to, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, kind of the boob collector kind of made me laugh though. So yeah, so he had cut off this woman's tit like only a few days before, and then that was the boob that he brought into the okay. I wasn't sure if he was planning on, because as we'll get into, I don't know if he was necessarily planning on going and turning himself in that day, because there was like a whole thing with his brother, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it's like, so was he just carrying that around in his jacket just for funsies, or was he planning on going to the cops and being like, hey, look, I'm a serial killer. Look, like I have a severed tit, as you do. So I don't know. That was just like another thing the other detail that I kind of got hung up on. Because this is why I'm so fascinated by true crime. I know it's morbid, I know, but it's just kind of like, I just get hung up on this kind of stuff. Just because I'm not a serial killer, obviously, and it's like, their thought processes and the shit that they do, it just, fascinates me for some, because I'm like, well, how does that work? Like, what? Why would that even occur to you? You know what I mean? I don't know. So it's like, I guess that's kind of whack. Now, when he walked in, um, he he and his brother, like I said, he had a brother named Rod who was almost 2 years, like about 20 months older than him, and they'd always been real close growing up. And basically, what happened was that not too long after he killed Patricia, his fourth victim, he called his brother and said, I've hurt some people. And like the way he was talking, like his brother got real worried and said, I'm coming to see you. Like his brother lived like 5 hours away or something. And so his brother comes to see him, and they spend the day together, like doing fun stuff that they used to do when they were kids. Like, let's go to the zoo and we're going to go out to lunch. And it's like, they spent like a good like brother bonding time. You know what I mean? And basically all that Wayne would say was that I've hurt some people and I feel really bad about it, but he wouldn't like elaborate. So it's really like, what do you mean? Like, hurt people how? Like, who were we talking about? And he wouldn't really say anything. And finally, like, the brother was like, look, if you feel so guilty about it or so bad about it, why don't you go to the police and turn yourself in? And so Wayne said, yeah, I'm going to do that. Will you come with me? And so I don't really know, like I said, if he had been planning to go to the cops that particular day, or if he just happened to have this woman's breast in a Ziploc bag in his pocket.
That's
like,
weird.
It's not like he had to go home and get it first. I don't think.
Around with him.
Unless.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they just didn't say that, and the brother's like, I just got to stop at my apartment for a second and like get something. You know what I mean? I don't know if he did that, but it's like, why would he have had it with him?
That's wild.
Like, was he just
carrying it with him?
Maybe he was just carrying around in his pocket, like because he had only killed her like a few days before.
Yeah, he's just carrying it around.
So he just had it in his jacket pocket.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like you do.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That blows my fucking mind. And I was just like obsessed with that detail.
Keeping that titty warm.
Why did he have it?
Keep that it's like a...
Did he, like I said, did he have to stop at the apartment and get it? Like before they went to the cops? Or did he just have it?
It's like a what do you call it? Comfort blanket? What do you call that shit?
Like a whoopee?
Oh, like a whoopee.
It's his whoopee.
It's his whoopee. It's keeping him comfortable.
Tammy says it was his good luck boob.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is terrible and
Tammy
awesome.
Knows boobs. She's got boobs. She knows about good luck boobs. It's some. I thought it was like his whoopee.
His whoopee.
Yeah.
Speaking of whoopee, maybe somebody can answer this question. I might have to ask. ChatGPT or something. I was under the impression that the term whoopee for like a security blanket or security blanket, or sometimes a toy, but usually I see it's security blanket. I was under the impression that that word originated with the movie Mr. Mom, with Michael Keaton, which came out in 1984, because that's where I first heard it. He's raising his kids. It's kind of a funny thing where it's like his wife goes to work and he's a stay-at-home dad, and he doesn't know what's going on, and his son has a whoopee, like a blanket, and it gets like torn up in the washing machine, and he has to staple it back together. It's a whole thing, and that was the first time I'd heard that. Yeah. But like later on, I was thinking, well, was that a term prior to that movie, or did that movie originate?
Nah, it's probably
because I thought that term was so funny, and I was like, I feel like most people, maybe not nowadays, but I feel like most people in the 80s and 90s, if you said whoopee, like you'd know what that meant.
It was probably a regional term,
maybe so,
in a certain region.
Now I'm kind of curious, like where that
security word a whoopee
originally came from.
Like for instance, when I was a little kid, growing up in California, still in a stroller. Okay, both my parents were Southern. I was being raised in California. I didn't have a whoopee. I had a binky, and a binky was a pacifier.
I've heard that term though.
Binky.
I thought that was pretty
in your mouth. Yeah, it was like a fake nipple. Maybe that's why I like boobs so much. It's like a fake nipple.
A lot of kids had those though.
Binky.
My younger
but evidently,
siblings had them too.
In other regions,
they call them something.
They call it something else. So
the
word binky was not invented for me.
We didn't call it a binky, but I heard other people call it that.
Binky.
So it wasn't unusual. I think we just called it a pacifier.
Yeah.
But
I outgrew the binky the day I dropped it at fucking. I was in the stroller. I remember when it happened. I remember when I lost Binky.
I remember hearing this story too.
Yeah.
I remember like cracking up when you told me.
My mom was pushing me in the stroller in California. I was at SeaWorld. Fucking watching damn orca and shit jump up out of the shit. And I was loving it. And fucking, I was in a stroller that had a little, where your feet go, it's just a little rack that had, you know what I mean, like wire.
Yeah, I remember those.
Wires, you know what I mean? So your feet couldn't go. There's like a wire rack at your feet. And the binky fell out, and I tried to grab it.
My binky!
I was a kid. I couldn't grab it. And it fell in between my feet and fell in between the wire racks on the footrest of the fucking stroller. And my mom kept going. And I was like, oh my God. Ah. And I heard my mom say something, but that's it. That's the end.
My whoopie's gone.
I lost
my
the
binky's
binky.
gone.
Years later, a couple years later, says, I remember the binky. Fucking, I dropped the binky. You kept going. She goes, oh no, I saw you drop it. I saw you drop it.
She was like, oh well, it's the end of that.
That's the day. That was the end of the binky. And I said, you saw that? And yeah, that was the end of the binky. I saw you. I saw it.
She just pretended not to see
She pretended not to see it.
Very sly.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want you having that.
Yeah, it was the time to outgrow.
Because that was back in the day, they used to say, well, take that, they're going to get buck teeth.
Yeah, and you couldn't have the binky for very long.
Yeah.
I was a couple years old.
Yeah,
Still
I know. It's like, I don't even know. That might be an old wives' tale, like that it gives you buck teeth.
Probably not.
But
I don't really think I had teeth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think most people said it. It's like, oh, it makes your teeth growing crooked. That's what I always heard when I was a kid, and I was like,
that's just how they weaned you.
I'm not sure if I believe that.
That's how they weaned you. They stopped breastfeeding you and they gave you a binky.
Yeah, she's like, shut up.
And then eventually,
it's like a baby plug.
The advice of the 70s, that must have been maybe like 72, maybe 71. Might have been that early. Probably 71. 72.
Yeah, because you'd have been like 2 or something.
Yeah, I was still in a thing, and I remember it. It was traumatizing. But the idea was,
I can't believe you still remember that. Too.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it happening
when I was 2.
And it was like, I lost the binky.
No.
And the advice at the time is just let the kid drop the binky.
And just keep on going.
And that's the end.
And that's what your mom did. She's like, oh, well, how fortuitous.
No more binky.
La la la.
Yeah.
Did not see the binky fall on the ground.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I still think I got a bottle. I think they were still bottle feeding me a little bit, but no more binky.
So you must have been like pretty young.
Right? Yeah, but no more binky.
You hadn't graduated to sippy cup.
No, and I was
so
in
you
a
must,
stroller.
yeah, you must have been really little then.
Yeah, little, but I remember it. One of my first memories. I had a lot of.
So it must have been like super traumatic.
Oh yeah, I was like, I lost a binky. God damn it.
Oh my God! I want to make
it.
you like a T-shirt that says
Margie,
"My binky."
You ask Margie about it. She'll tell you about it. Binky.
I'll ask her one of these days. Tammy looked it up and said, "Whoopee is the affectionate military nickname for the official U.S. military poncho liner."
That's new.
According to Google.
That's a lie. That's a lie. When I was in the Army,
well, it might
90s,
be a newer. It might be a newer.
And they said
they might be getting that.
We used no such term, whoopee. You'd get punished for using something like that. That's a new term.
Maybe that is. Maybe they're getting it from.
They got it from the movie later.
The movie.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
It was called poncho liner.
I just wondered if it was a thing before the movie, because Mr. Mom came out.
Yeah, it was a thing before the
1984.
movie. I guarantee you it was. It was probably something regional. It just meant security blanket.
I'm just like fascinated by the etymology of the word whoopee.
Yeah.
Like I always just thought it came from the movie because that's the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess everybody saw Mr. Mom because it was kind of a big movie and it was on cable all the time. So I figured that's where everybody got it from. But now I don't know.
I didn't hear the term whoopee coming out of the Army until veterans leaving the Army, and they were like millennial age veterans.
Yeah, so it might have been something that came later, but they might have got that from the movie.
They got it from the movie.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it was a thing before the movie.
We had never heard that. In 1990.
I still use that term because I think it's funny.
Yeah. I never heard of it.
But just for a blanket, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually like a security blanket. Because my sister-in-law made me this really cool red, white, and black striped blanket.
Yeah.
That I use. I put it over my eyes, like if there's too much light in the room or something like that, and it's really cozy. and I call that a whoopee. But yeah, so him walking in with the boob, I just can't get past that. I don't know why he had it in his pocket. Like, did he? And what if he did like? And then I'm imagining like he's pulling out other Ziploc bags. Like this one has like a finger, and this one has like an eyeball, and this one has like a toe and shit like that. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know. But he just had the boob. So when they got him in there, and he said basically, "I'm the serial killer." Um, he also confessed. He not only confessed to the 4 murders quite willingly. They didn't have to like. They did. He wasn't even on the radar. Like he wasn't even a suspect or nothing.
Yeah.
He's just this random ass dude with a boob in a bag,
Yeah.
and walks in the fucking police office and said, "Oh, hey, guess what? Like,
he's retiring.
Yeah,
I'm retiring.
I'm retiring from serial killing.
Yeah, he's retiring.
Throw me a party."
Yeah.
But he also admitted to raping at least 2 other women who survived. Neither of which have been named in the public. They just call them Sonoma County Doe and Orange County Doe.
They were hookers, probably.
One of them testified at his trial, but the other one didn't want to.
They were sex workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, with serial killers like this, you would presume that he probably raped or killed more victims than what he confessed to. But
Maybe not this
he
one.
didn't seem he didn't seem to be the kind of guy that was just like like he was showing off, like, because a lot of serial killers, when they finally catch them, they're almost kind of like, ooh, they just want to impress people with how fucked up they are. So it's like they'll sit there and I'm not saying that a lot of them like make stuff up. Some of them do, like, look at it, fucking Henry Lee Lucas. But he's made up almost all of that.
I think almost all of it.
But you know what I mean? Like, so he's, oh yeah, I killed her too, totally. And then gives all the wrong details. But
I think Albert Fish made up a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, like, just because if you're gonna be transgressive, I guess, like, go balls to the wall with it. So they're just like they get off on like shocking people, I guess.
Yeah.
But this guy seemed not quite like that. So they're not sure if probably the 4 is all he did, but because he was active for so long, like, as a truck driver, and he did at least 2 other rapes, so they're kind of thinking there's probably more that he would have
confessed to them. Maybe, I think, unless they were children. Some of them won't.
Yeah, because look at fucking Bundy.
Yeah.
With that 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He confessed to like everything eventually, but he would not say he did that. He did though.
Yeah. But he did it.
He did.
Yeah.
But that was like, I was like, oh, so you do have a modicum of shame then, don't you? Like,
no, it's I think it's not shame, it's more like pride.
Yeah.
He didn't want his pride to be hurt.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking crazy.
He didn't care, but he knew other people would care.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So yeah, not so much shame. It's just like, I guess
he didn't want to affect his image.
Yeah, that's what it was. Kind of more. He was worried about what other people would think of him.
That motherfucker
like
thought
going after children.
Yeah, that motherfucker thought he was a badass.
Yeah, like, okay,
yeah.
Severed head raping motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, real badass.
He wasn't a badass.
No, of course not.
He's weak.
Well,
he's a weak man.
That's
who fucking went after fucking girls.
Why do they end up?
Yeah.
That's why they all end up like this.
Yeah. Snap that bitch like a twig.
Yeah. Well, they fried his ass, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. Now, what he said, like, when they asked him, so, okay, Mr. Boob in the Bag guy, why are you confessing? Like, we didn't even know. Honestly, if he'd kept going, I don't know if they ever would have caught him, because a lot of these trucker serial killers, still not been caught. He said that it was because he knew that he was going to kill again, and he was particularly worried that he was going to kill his ex-wife, Elizabeth, and he didn't want to, because his son, Max, excuse me, who was about 3 years old at that time, he didn't want to make his kid an orphan. You know what I mean?
His kid would be better off as an orphan.
Well, I mean, I think the mom was okay, but it's just kind of like, but yeah, he just didn't want,
yeah, that's true.
He didn't want the kid ended up and having like a murderer for a dad. I'm like, he already does. So a little late for that. You know what I mean? So that's why he wanted to turn himself in, because now I saw like a couple like behavioral experts like talking about this, and some of them were like, we're not entirely sure we buy that story. Um, it's possible that, I mean, at least he had the self-awareness to know that he couldn't stop. I mean, he clearly knew that. That's why he turned himself in. Would he have ended up killing his ex-wife? Because that's who he seemed to be the most upset at. Because in his mind, she was keeping him, she left him and she was keeping him from seeing his son, which she says is not true. And like I said, he didn't really seem to care about seeing his son all that much anyway.
Probably bullshit.
So yeah, so a lot of the behavioral experts I saw that talked about it said, that's probably not entirely true. Like, it's like, yeah, he was probably super pissed at his ex-wife and was maybe punishing other women as kind of like a displacement sort of thing because he couldn't get to her for some reason. But had he not turned himself in, would he have kept killing? Would he have eventually killed his ex-wife? They're like, maybe not. Like, he probably just would have kept killing strangers. And just kind of using that as an excuse. It's hard to say.
I got another theory.
Oh, okay.
My theory is that he killed these girls and it hung over his head. He was worried. And he thought they were going to catch him at any moment. And he felt out of control that way. And he didn't like being out of control, feeling like he wasn't in control of the shit. So if he went to the police and made it happen on his own terms, he's in control of being caught.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So he's orchestrating his own capture and he's in control of it. I think that's what it was.
That might have been a factor because both of his wives did say he was very controlling.
Having that shit hanging over him made him feel like he wasn't in control and that the cops were in control. And they could show up at any moment and grab him. And that made him feel uncomfortable. And he couldn't take it. He was like, fuck it. They're going to catch me. So I'm going to fucking turn myself in. I'm going to own it. And I'm going to control it. I think that's what he did.
That might have been a factor, yeah.
And then it took all the stress off of him.
Yeah.
He didn't have to worry about it anymore. Now he could go to prison.
Yeah.
In comfort. In control.
Because that's the thing. Like, he made a big show about saying that after he did it, he had the head injury and everybody said, like I said, he acted an ass, like, after, like, super violent and super, like, big mood swings and stuff. So that was a factor too. But I wonder how much remorse he genuinely did feel, because he did say afterward that it's like, hey, I really didn't want to kill my ex-wife. I feel like I would have done that, and then my son would have been an orphan, and that would suck. And he didn't want that to happen because I knew that I wouldn't be able to stop on my own. And he said that he always felt really bad after he killed somebody, and that he didn't, this is kind of fucked up, but that he didn't mean anything against those people, those victims personally. It was just that he hated his ex-wife so much that he was like lashing out. But I always question how much remorse people like this are capable of feeling.
I don't think he had remorse for actually committing the crimes that much. I think he had against the people and what happened. I think he had remorse for actually plunging into this shit and regretted it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now he's no longer in control. The cops are now in control. Because they're looking for him in his mind. He's getting paranoid.
Yeah, except they weren't, ironically.
But he thought they were.
He wasn't even on their radar. Like, they didn't know who the fuck he was.
He thought they were.
Yeah.
So I think he regretted that. The fact that he started doing this shit.
And now he's put himself...
into the line of fire. Yeah. And he's under stress now. That's what I think it is. He didn't really care about the girls.
No, I mean, clearly not.
No, he's caring about himself.
Because anybody that could do what he did to those women...
Yeah. He's dehumanized them.
You know, and yes, the mutilation was post-mortem, okay? So he wasn't cutting them in pieces while they were still alive, but still.
He's getting into that.
It's like no one does that just
He's carrying the boob around. He's carrying the boob around. Yeah, no.
He kept a head in his freezer, okay? And it's just like for a while. I don't know how long it was. He probably fucked that head.
He's taken charge of it. He's in control of turning himself in. He's also now in control of telling the story.
Yeah.
So he's going to say, he's going to give a woe is me story. And look at what a hero I am. I'm turning myself in.
It's all
So
because my horrible bitch of an ex-wife won't
yeah,
let me see
I'm
my
turning
kid.
myself in. So I'm saving the lives of all these other ones I could have killed.
Yeah.
See?
Maybe it was kind of like some
So,
kind of martyr.
yeah.
Some kind of martyr
See?
complex.
Yeah. See, I'm going to fess up. That's what a man I am. See, I only killed 4. I was going to kill 40.
I could have killed a
I
lot more.
saved all them other ones. See?
You're welcome.
So now, yeah. So now he's doing that.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it. That probably was a lot more to do with it than actually him feeling bad about it.
Yeah. You're looking at it like a human. I don't look at it
well,
like a human.
It's like obviously you didn't feel that bad because you still fucking did it.
Of course. You
don't just like do that accidentally.
No. He was having a problem sleeping at night, looking over his shoulder, thinking that they were fucking one step behind him. He was paranoid and a control freak. That's what I think it really was. He thought they were going to catch him at any moment.
Yeah.
So he's going to his brother, I feel bad about what I did. Because he thinks he's going to get caught.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's true of pretty much all serial killers. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they're capable of feeling remorse like a normal person.
If they could, they wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you felt bad about it, you wouldn't have done that shit in the first place.
The remorse is for themselves.
It's for themselves because it's like, oh, I did some. I'm gonna go to prison.
I'm going to prison. I'm going out. I'm getting out. They got me.
Poor me.
They're gonna get me.
Because they're the only.
Never should have happened.
They're the only person that they care about, and they always have an excuse.
Yeah, this never should have happened to me. If it wasn't for my wife and all the pain she put me through, I wouldn't have had to do this.
Yeah, like I said, that.
So I'm a man up and take my lick.
She made me do
for
this.
them 4 that I killed. She was fun, but I'm a fucking. They're gonna catch me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say, look, man, all the other ones I'm saving. Okay. So
I'm a hero, really, when you think about it.
I'm the hero. I'm the villain and the hero, but I'm more the hero because I was gonna kill 40.
Yeah.
See, so I only killed.
So I saved those lives, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saved all of. I saved fucking 37 lives.
That's how he's gonna say.
Yeah, 36 lives.
That's probably a lot closer to the truth.
Yeah,
than
You have to be like me. You have to be able to think like a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally self-serving. That's what he's doing.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah,
it's
that's
not
what
high-minded.
Like I said, that's what you have to understand is that a lot of these types of dudes are just completely self-centered. So so you can't really believe like anything they say. Like and a lot of them are not super insightful about why they do what they do.
He knows what he considers to be high-minded people think. So his story is gonna serve, you know what I mean? Is gonna serve to fulfill their expectations. You know what I mean? Oh, I know how they're, I'm going to make myself.
So he's going to try and.
I'm going to turn myself.
Didn't work though.
It's just like this bunch. It's just like fucking BTK. Okay. Like he was an upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
He was an upstanding citizen. He was very good for the community.
Yeah, I mean, and he'll tell you
he killed some people and shit, but that was only one part of his life. All the other shit he was doing, he was good for the community.
I mean, other people do bad stuff too. Come on.
He went to church. He made sure people's grass was cut to the right length. Fucking made sure that the dogs were all put away.
It all evens out.
All the people he saved with all his fucking stickling about the length of the grass.
That should be that should be a verb.
Stickling. Yeah, he was a stickling motherfucker.
Being a stickler for things.
and that's really what his life was about. He saved millions of people being a stickler.
Yeah,
he only killed a few women and girls.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
that's little shit. Matter? Everybody's got problems. He just had a sexual problem. He just had a sexual problem. That's all. Yeah, that's the thinking.
Yeah, like I said, their thinking is disordered to say the least. And like I said, I know a lot about.
Right order, yeah.
I know a lot about BTK's thought processes because, like I said, Sophie, our friend Sophie, who used to be in the chat a lot, but she's not. But she's stayed with us a few times, and she sent me a book.
She listened to it recorded on.
She sent me a book about BTK. That was like he corresponded with the author for many years, and they reprinted like all of his letters in there, so you get like a pretty good insight into like what his thought processes are. And wow, they are really out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's interesting because I don't think like that, and I think 99% normal people don't think like that either. So it's really
Yeah.
interesting. That's why I'm so fascinated by them, is because they're so alien. Like their thought processes. Like when you read about it, like you're like, oh, okay, like I guess that makes sense if you're crazy.
It's kind of childlike, actually. When
Yeah,
you
it
think
is
about
kind of. It is kind
It's
of.
kind of like it's kind of like the thought process of a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's just that it's involving rape
It's
and murder.
yeah, it's like they've never progressed
They haven't
beyond.
progressed much.
Yeah,
beyond
they're
a
very
certain-
stunted.
Yeah, it's like stunted development.
That's definitely how a lot of them come across.
Yeah.
And it's weird because a lot of them are really emotionally stunted, like intellectually stunted, like a lot of things. But a lot of them also come across as like really condescending, like they think they're smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's what's hilarious
Well, they
to
think
me.
it's a superpower.
Yeah, it's hilarious to me too, like all these serial killers that do all this and that and the other thing because they think they're smarter than the cops, and the cops sitting back there going, okay.
Yeah, we caught you. Yeah.
It's like we've seen that a million times before. You're not special. So yeah. I mean, yeah, and like I said, the only reason that serial killers, a lot of them don't get caught, is not because they're super geniuses, because a lot of them are kind of dummies or just like average intelligence.
Because they're killing people at
It's
random.
just they're killing people at random, which
Yeah.
is a lot harder because there's no link. You know what I mean? That's the only reason. And a
Yeah.
lot of them, like this guy, you know, he's a truck driver and he's leaving 7 different
Yeah.
jurisdictions and shit like that. So they don't necessarily like link them together. It's not anything to do with being
No.
smarter than the cops or.
You're not leaving behind any witnesses or DNA, and you're not
Yeah.
connected to that person.
So I guess that's kind of like smart,
in
but
the investigative process, it's hard to link you to that person.
like I said, look at fucking BTK like asking the cops about, you know, oh hey, if I send you this floppy disk, like can you trace me from that? And they're like, no, absolutely not.
He believed him. Yeah,
It's fine. And then he was mad when they caught him because he's like, you guys lied to me. They're like, yeah,
we're trying to catch you.
dipshit.
You guys were just not honest with me. He thought they were supposed to be honest with him.
He's like, but we're the same.
Yeah, he thought there was an honor.
They're like, we were trying to
somebody.
catch you, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
thought,
well, of course we lied.
You guys are the good guys. You can't lie.
Oh, they absolutely
I wasn't
can.
lying with you.
And you know what? And I think maybe that's from movies or TV, because you know how there's always like, if this is, you don't really see it much anymore, but like I feel like in the movies in like 80s and 90s, you would see a thing like a hooker would like get in a car and being like, are you a cop? You have to tell me. I'm like, no, they don't. They don't have to tell you.
For some reason
that is a myth.
For some reason they think that cops have to tell you the truth.
That if you ask them outright,
it's illegal to lie.
You got me.
Yeah.
No, they absolutely do. They can lie to you all day long.
Yeah,
and they do. Like when they question suspects and stuff like that, they can make up. We have DNA. We have evidence of you doing this. No, they don't.
She's told us everything about what you did.
No, they don't.
She's in there fucking telling you that you did it.
Yeah, they can tell you whatever they want. They're just trying to get you to like fucking say something. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think that's a myth that they have to tell you. They don't. They don't have to tell you they're a cop. They don't have to tell you nothing.
Man, there's a thunderstorm out there.
Yeah, we had one earlier.
Yeah.
And then here's another one. So I don't really think they do call him. Some people do. He'll call him the remorseful killer. But like I said, I don't think that's entirely accurate.
More like paranoid.
It is unusual that he just kind of waltzed in there and said, "Hey, it's me."
I think he was just paranoid, thought he was going to get caught.
But
so
maybe it was. So, obviously they did find other physical evidence and shit like that. Yeah. So he ended up going to trial in San Bernardino County in June 2006. There was this whole, I don't even want to get into it because it's kind of boring, but there was like a whole thing about, because the murders took place in different counties, so like different jurisdictions, like there was kind of a thing where
they were fighting
well no, not so much. It was just like, we have to try him like in different counties. But then they kind of passed a thing where it's like, no, it's like if it's a serial killer, we can do them all like in one place. So it's just, but it took like, it was all this legal wrangling and kind of, I watched a thing about it and I was just like, it was interesting, but I was like, man, I don't want to get too much into that because it's all just like legal jiggery pokery. So yeah, and they ended up convicting him, all 4 counts, first degree murder, with special circumstances. Those special circumstances being, it was multiple murders, he's a serial killer, and also the bodily mutilation, which, will give you like a harsher sentence. And the defense tried to kind of mitigate it somewhat by saying, he had these head injuries and he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which he was in the military. and that he expressed remorse. He turned himself in. They tried to make him seem like, oh, come on, he's not so bad, thing like that. However, the jury was kind of like, nah, son, and they gave him the death penalty. And so he is at San Quentin right now, as of this live stream, and he is still on death row. California does still have the death row, but there is at present a moratorium on executions. So he's been there since 2006. Obviously, he's never going to get let out, but they don't really know if he's going to be executed either. So yeah, he's still in there. He's still alive. How old is he now? Like, he was born in 1961. So
Close to 70.
So yeah, he might last a few more years. I don't know. But he's still in there. And as far as I know, I've heard like little
Maybe
clips
65, maybe?
something like that. Yeah,
66?
I guess he'd be.
Somewhere.
I can't add.
Yeah. You can't do math.
I can't.
Especially now that I'm drinking.
Yeah, exactly. I can't math when I'm drinking.
He's coming up on 70.
But yeah, but he's still in there, and as far as I know, he's not like a big name or anything. And I'd never heard of him until I think it was Tammy that recommended it. And I'm glad you did, because I had never heard of this guy. And, it's kind of upsetting that I'm just discovering new serial killers all the time. Because I watch a lot of true crime shit on like HBO Max and stuff. And I watched one last night. People Magazine does that show, like People Magazine Investigates. They got a bunch of different ones. I survived a serial killer.
Yeah.
And this one woman had escaped a serial killer. It was in Washington State in the 70s. And what was his name? Warren Forrest.
Yeah. She wasn't a woman. She was only 15.
Yeah. Well, she was a woman when they interviewed her. That's what I meant. But she was only 15 when it happened. She got abducted by him and like tied up and...
Yeah, he beat her up and shit
and
like that.
Beat the shit out of her.
Fucking tied her up. And she fucking, when he rocked off, she gnawed her way out of the fucking trap. Went and fucking, they called the cops. She escaped. They called the cops. Cops didn't believe her.
And the cops didn't believe her.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe her until another dead person showed up.
Yeah.
Not long, and it was like the same MO.
Well, that one cop didn't. Maybe the other ones did. Because you could see her eye was red where she'd been fucking hit.
Yeah, she looked.
And she had fucking rope burn and all kinds.
Yeah, like across her face, like that.
I think the cop that's questioning her probably said, "I don't believe you," but he might have just been interrogating her.
Maybe
he did believe her.
Although that's a shitty thing.
Because I look at her, I could just see in the photograph.
That's a shitty thing to say to like a 15-year-old girl that's just been through a horrible, traumatic experience. Well, I don't believe you. Yeah. She said that's what he said to my face.
He wanted to see what she would do. But she didn't crack. She says, "Okay, take me home."
Yeah, she's like, "All right, well, fuck y'all then."
Yeah. But I could look at photographs of her and go, "Yeah, she's been beaten up."
She looked all messed up.
Yeah.
And yeah, the thing about it, she's an older lady now, but it's just kind of like she actually, every time they find a new body or like link a new victim to this guy, Warren Forrest, I think at the moment they're not sure how many he killed. They think maybe 10 or more.
I thought they said 14.
Yeah, it might be 14, but they can't prove all of them.
Yeah.
But every time there's a new one, she'll go and testify like about what happened to her, because she's like, man, it's like, I just want.
And she got in the car with him. He pulled up. She said he was cute. He was nice. So he got in the car with him. Said he wanted to know if he would drive her home. But he didn't drive her home. Took her out in the woods.
Yeah.
Fucking
70s, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, I'm not.
Girls are just getting.
I'm not victim blaming, because the thing about it was 70s. Hitchhiking was very, very normalized. I don't know if people realize, like, especially in the United States, like girls thought nothing of it.
Of getting into a dude's car.
Of just getting into a dude's car. It's just like everybody.
They would wait on the side of the road and try to fucking get a ride.
Yeah.
And they're 15-year-old girls.
And, in their defense, 95% of the time, nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
Because everybody did it.
Yeah.
But, now you're only hearing about the 5% of the time when it went horribly, horribly awry, obviously. But it's like, it's still not. And it's crazy because in the 70s, like, crime was a lot worse than it is now. And, like, now no one would fucking dream of getting into. I mean, people
and
do,
what was funny
do
is
get in Ubers, but at least that's.
It tended to be girls that weren't old enough to have a car, to drive cars.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And girls that didn't have any money.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
which
just,
that was also more trouble.
like I said, it's just very, very
yeah,
normalized.
yeah,
Like, we're just like, hey, we're going to a party. We got weed. Okay.
yeah.
You would just get in the car with a total fucking stranger.
Yeah, and next thing you know, he's beating you with a fucking ball-peen hammer, breaking your elbows and shit with a hammer.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You remember that, dude? Yeah, yeah.
So it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, so I couldn't be mad at her because I'm like, everybody fucking did that back then. Like, just got in strangers' cars. It wasn't weird. Like, nowadays, people be like, you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, nowadays, you just go on a date with somebody you met online and you're just like giving everybody your number and like fucking taking a picture of his driver's license and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in case he's a murderer. You never know. You know what I mean? Better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, so let me see. I saw something and it's like, oh yeah, Gramther said there are many, many serial killers few know about, like Coral Watts. Yeah, I've actually heard of Coral Watts. He's on the list. We'll do a show about him one of these days. He's probably a prison wife now. So he said, Gramther said he killed 80 to 100 women, but is a no name on the pantheon of American killers. Yeah, and I always wonder why that is. Like, why some serial killers
I forgot which one that is.
Yeah, it's
is that
like
the black guy.
Yeah, he is,
Watts?
isn't he? I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
if it's
he
the
would
one
just
that I'm
walk
thinking
around,
of.
I think.
If he, yeah.
I think it's him.
But yeah, he killed a lot of people, and it's just it just goes to show that victim count isn't necessarily the arbiter of like who's going to be the most famous serial killer.
You gotta have panache.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
They got to give you like a cool name, or you have to do something particularly fucked up. Not even that, I feel like. I don't know. It's really weird.
It's something stands out about you.
It has to be something that stands out. It's just like everything else. Like, you know, if whether you're an influencer or whether you gotta stand out in your field, and if you don't do that, like everyone's just, you could kill 100 people and people are just gonna forget who you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grim said he was a black dude killed in Michigan and Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We did a show about another, because there's not really that many black serial killers, but we did a show about another guy along the same lines, Samuel Little. That was his name, right? And he killed quite a few also, but that was a while back. We did a show about him. But I thought we had done Coral Watts. But when I looked back, I was like, I couldn't find it. So I was like, oh, well, shit. All right. So I put it on the list, and it's been in the poll a couple times, but it didn't win. But we'll get around to him eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So it's starting to storm. I'm kind of worried that the powers maybe go out.
We'll be back.
So Friday. I'm going to shut it down for the evening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this evening. And we will be back on Friday night for the Sidetrack show. We're not going anywhere Friday night, so we can just hang out with you guys and have some drinks and talk about some bullshit like we usually do. So that should be fun. So have a good rest of your evening, you guys. Have a good day tomorrow. And we will see you guys again on Friday night for the Sidetrack show. Good night.